Next topic is organization update. And for that, we go on to Mike.
Okay, so obviously we had a little bit of a realignment recently. I joined Nick maybe about 2 weeks ago, or is it 3 weeks now? I can't quite remember. But I was an investor, obviously, in the community, and I've been with the community since day one, and was noticing that there was a lot of communication issues, within Discord and getting updates. So I reached out to Nick and really started to wanting to help out and get involved. I have an executive past in terms of sales and marketing, and I've run companies, and so I just said, Nick, I want to help out. So we kind of started our partnership and in friendship in the sense of trying to make Vitruvio successful. We started doing at that same time, there were some changes, organizational changes going on, within Vitruvio, kind of a realignment with certain positions that were kind of, how would you put it, Nick? Just, there were maybe 3 or 4 people that were working on other things, and there was this transition where they were not going to be a part of Vitruvio anymore. So it opened up some doors. We did, I started working with Nick, getting more involved, and then we did kind of like a SWOT analysis where we're looking at our strengths, we're looking at our weaknesses, opportunities where we need to grow as a team and as a company, and then what are the perceived threats that are going to get in the way of us being successful. So we did see that we did need to realign and fix a lot of things, and we also took a look at things like the Senate, the DAO structure, all of that. Validator team was perfectly fine. There were no issues there. It was just a matter of getting everybody on board. But the overall team was reduced due to attrition and austerity. So we produced a kind of a new org chart. So we want to kind of explain everything to you, and we'll kind of dive into this. So the core team has been realigned. I'm going to have to make this a little bit bigger, Nick. Hold on one second. There we go. Okay, so the core team now is going to be Nick, me, and Adrian. Nick is obviously the founder and CEO of Vitruvio. This is his baby, his passion, his brainchild, but he's also the acting CTO. Within his vertical is the Vitruvio technology. So he's going to be working on the protocol, the development, the DApp development, among 1,500 other things. But that's kind of the main bucket. And then there's certain verticals that are under his care. Obviously Nick does a lot of the coding in order to protect liquidity and work on the finances. Nick's really taken on that charge to develop a lot of the smart contracts and a lot of the dApps. So it's great to have an internal developer when you're building a blockchain. We obviously have a team in Brazil, and they are developing a lot to do with search and studio, and all of those components. So Nick oversees them. And then we have Baron, who leads the validator team. And within the validator team, under his direction is the VTech team. So we have Reddy, Nathan B, Cappy, and then Esso is a mod, but he also really does help out a lot with VTech. So he wears quite a few hats. If I missed anybody in this organization chart, please forgive me. Just send me a DM and we'll get you added. That certainly wasn't intentional, but we had to get this out as quickly as possible. In terms of my role, I'm going to act as the COO and the CFO. I'm going to oversee all of the ecosystem and operations for the chain. I'm also going to oversee Vortex World and do that game development. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I'm going to explore different partnerships that the chain can go after in terms of, bringing in, whether it's creator partnerships, whether it's investor partnerships. We're going to explore everything. And so we've got kind of a cool plan for that. Budgeting, I'm going to, go through the books, and we're going to determine a 90-day budget, and that's going to turn into a 180-day budget to make sure that we have adequate funding, to make sure that we're spending the money wisely and all the money is going to the right places. So I'll be doing an audit of that. We're going to do an ecosystem roadmap. So the roadmap that we have on the website is very technical. We're going to have an internal roadmap and an external roadmap. The external roadmap is really going to be what are the wildly important goals for investors and creators. And so I'm going to redo that. I'm in the process of it. I wanted to have it done today, but there just wasn't enough time because we had to work on some other things. But we are going to redo the roadmap. And then we're also going to have a technical roadmap, which is really for the devs and to stay focused. So look for that coming pretty soon. I'm also going to oversee investor verticals. So anything having to do with the investors with the chain, I'm going to oversee that, as well as the creator verticals. So anything having to do with onboarding and just making sure that the creators are taken care of, as well as understanding really the chain. We have a lot of different, the problem with the chain that we had set up is it's a very complex ecosystem. It's not just a token or anything like that. And there's a lot of complexity. And I want to kind of simplify the messaging externally so that both creators, investors, and new adopters of our technology easily understand the ecosystem, as well as investors, or creators whenever they're coming on board. Crypto can be a new thing, and it can be very intimidating, and a lot of mistakes and frustrations can happen as a result of that. So I'm going to try to simplify that communication, and we've got a new website that we're going to be expanding on specifically for creator onboarding, and so I'll be taking over that. And then competitor analysis, we're really going to find out what our value proposition is relative to, let's say, a traditional NFT marketplace like Blur or OpenSea or some of our other competitors. There are a lot of companies that are going out of business right now, which creates a huge opportunity for us to capitalize on that market share. I've had a chance to start that research, and what we're building is so superior to what's out there. It's really mind-blowing. If I was to kind of show you and take you down that rabbit hole, it's really incredible. I've actually had the pleasure of joining Nick on the X Spaces, which are kind of like the AMAs for creators. And the feedback that we get from creators whenever they see our ecosystem is mind-blowing. They are so enthusiastic. They are so excited to get this thing up and rolling, and we just can't get them onboarded fast enough. So the onboarding process, we're going to try to simplify that. We're going to, without, foregoing KYC and those sort of processes, because those are important, but we are definitely going to address that. And then we are going to revamp the Senate and the DAO model. So I'm in talks with Nick to kind of restructure that. And so we've got some really good ideas to, make that happen. And then the last thing is the multi-sig. So I'll be on the multi-sig, Nick will, and then Adrian. Under my verticals specifically, I'm going to run operations for the entire ecosystem. The community, I kind of want to dive into this a little bit. We'd like to announce that Arco and Didi are going to be the new community managers. So they've done such a stand-up job in so many ways, and along with so many other of the community members. But we really wanted to recognize their work and really lift them up because they've done such a great job. S04e04 and Arco were the main mods, but Arco is going to take the community manager, and Didi is also going to take the community manager role. We're having two community managers, obviously, because they're scheduling. We're a worldwide organization, so we have different time zones, and we want to make sure that we have adequate coverage. So hopefully that will take care of that. We are going to change the mod roles as well. We're going to do L1 and L2 mods. L1 mods are really, you could call them junior mods. They're really going to have a supportive role for L2 mods. So when things get backdated, they're going to be able to support the mods with that role. In terms of our creator vertical, we have a new creator lead who is going to be kind of overseeing the creators and partnering with us. We're going to be working with her and giving her direction next week. And her name is Pam Both. We're excited to introduce her to everybody. But she's going to be really working to support the creators and that space. We also have positions open right now for Telegram mods. So if you are a creator and you're in the Telegram group with Dreamverse, definitely let us know if you're interested in participating. Arco is a part of that creator onboarding. So he has a multitask role. He's doing a lot. And then we have what are called brand ambassadors. And brand ambassadors are creators that are a part of our ecosystem that have an influential part on social media. They also are multilingual, or they speak a specific language where we really want to make sure that our messaging is clear. So if you're interested in being a brand ambassador, reach out to Nick or myself, and we will definitely explore that. And then the last thing that I'm going to be focusing on is Vortex World. So Vortex World is going to be, actually, you know what? I'll save that. I'll save that for the later slide. The last core team member is Adrian, and many of you know Adrian through ePlays. He's an amazing entrepreneur. He's the co-founder as well as acting CMO for Vitruvio. And he's going to be handling protocol websites, VCs, Gitbook updates, social media, PR, press releases, influencer contacts, as well as the Honcho marketplace. And then he's on the multi-sig. So under his direction.
Sorry, Mike, to interrupt, but Honcho Launchpad.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Honcho Launchpad is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Thank you. Obviously he has a company called ePlays, and has been, he's one of the reasons why Vitruvio is here. And he's probably the reason why I think Nick is here, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So we owe a lot of gratitude to Adrian for his role in developing, or at least the starting points of taking care of us, as well as building out a lot of the tools that we use. And he doesn't get recognized enough. So I at least wanted to recognize all the efforts that he's put in. We've received a lot of funding through his efforts, and we definitely are grateful for his contribution that he's done. Zach is under his employment, and I spelled his name wrong. I'm so sorry, Zach, if you're watching. I know it's ZAC, but that's Aussie Zach. Obviously he's going to be overseeing the market maker as well as the Honcho Launchpad. So that's that.
All right.
Okay. I just wanted to kind of clear up Discord a little bit and some of the changes that we're going to be, implementing. Arco and Didi, as I mentioned before, are going to be the community managers. And the way we want to kind of think through this is the ticket system, the former legacy ticket system that we had, is no longer going to be implemented. It became backlogged. It became too convoluted. All the mods were going crazy with it. So we just decided to phase it out until we have maybe a Zendesk or another solution that we're looking at. In the meantime, all requests are directed to the community managers. So if you have support issues, if you have questions, if you have ideas, definitely ping Arco and Didi first. Try not to inundate requests to the other mods or to Nick or me. Where things are really speeding up, and a lot of people are wearing a lot of hats, and we want to make sure that we give you the right support and the best support that we can. And the way to do that is really going to be direct your requests directly to Arco and Didi. The CMs, in terms of the chain of command or how that request is handled, the CMs are going to solve the issue directly. Both Arco and Didi are more than competent to handle most troubleshooting issues. Both of them are really, really smart guys, and they work really hard, and they've devoted so much effort to this chain, and we're super grateful for them. So they can solve a lot of the questions. If they can't, then they'll direct it to an L2 mod or one of us in terms of the admins. The L1s are really going to be supporting the L2s. So they're going to be, keeping an eye on things, just helping the community overall. You'll see these updates in Discord later on today in terms of, the role updates. So those will be updated later today. I did want to say, we really wanted a new tide is turning here, and we're really getting to the point where we're getting closer and closer to launch. in the sense of being on a chain and on a major sex. And I really want to encourage people just to keep it professional. I know we love to play around. We love to, kind of tease each other and roast each other and gang up on people. But I really want to just encourage everybody to keep it professional. If you want to vent to the community manager through a DM. Try to keep Discord clean and positive. It never helps the community when we're just venting frustrations and gripes and that sort of thing, because it just takes us down a kind of a negative role. So if you do have any events or if you want to gripe, just take it to the DMs and make your complaint, or I'm sorry, to the CMs, make your complaint there. We want to hear your voice. One thing I've really tried to change in Discord is everybody's voice gets heard. I don't care if you don't deliver it the right way. I don't care if you're yelling or screaming or going off. I want to hear that feedback, because I know at the root of that is someone that cares about the chain. And your delivery may not be the best, but it doesn't negate your concern. So we really just want to keep things positive and productive, I guess, is kind of the better role. We also have some kind of cool things coming down the road for those people that really do want to provide additional ideas and support. Some people have really volunteered to help the chain. We have so many people in tech that we want to leverage your skill sets and your energy into developing this, and we really do need all hands on deck right now. So if you do have a skill set, if you do want to contribute in some way to the chain, the success of the chain, we would love to have some of your expertise and some of your input. And if we have a value or a need in a certain area, definitely communicate that with the community manager, and that will trickle up to us, and then we'll be able to reach out to you directly and solve some of those issues. At least get the chain launched faster. That's kind of our goal. But that's it for that.
Yeah, I would be very happy to finally retire the phrase "when launch," because that's done. We've finished. This was the goal for the first year. We've launched everything that we had committed to launching, and now what's going to happen is growth, right? So I think that should be like a fundamental piece. This is great, really well organized, really fantastic to have all these amazing folks, especially Arco, Didi, who have been tirelessly working all the time, and that's just phenomenal.